This is how you might know Lady Gaga. This is also Lady Gaga, playing classic piano, doing charities, playing jazz, and performing live The Sound of Music in front of Julie Andrews at the 2015 Oscars, many calling this moment the crucial point of Lady Gaga's image change. Many onlookers were genuinely surprised by Lady Gaga's music performance. Critics had assumed that she was all shtick, a gimmick, and no skill. They were wrong. And today I'm gonna show you how wrong and why. During an interview in 2010, Lady Gaga said, "I have always been an artist, and I've always been famous, you just didn't know it yet." Her whole career, her whole life is the story of overcoming, from bullying to dropped records, and the story starting with a 4-year-old kid learning to play the piano by ear that led to superstardom is fascinating. Born in March 28, 1986, Stefani Joanne Angelina Germanotta, Gaga was raised by Italian-American parents. She and her parents, Joseph, an internet entrepreneur, and Cynthia, a Verizon executive, lived in a duplex on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Today, Gaga is known for her hard work and the drive to continuously learn new things. This started because her parents cared deeply about education from a young age. They enrolled her at Convent of the Sacred Heart, an Upper East Side private Catholic school. Unfortunately, that's where the merciless bullying began. With a reason, not a good one, but there was a reason. I used to do these really big Evita brows. I used to self-tan, and I had this really intense tan in school. And people would say, "Why are you so orange? Why do you do your hair like that? Are you a dyke?" I used to be called a slut, be called this, be called that. I didn't even want to go to school sometimes. Bullying didn't make her better. She says that bullying really stays with you your whole life. It really never goes away. I know you're using words like superstar and most googled, billions of YouTube views, but I was never the winner. I was always the loser, and that still stays with me. Do I want to stick it to anybody? No. I just want to make music. From childhood, she used to sing along her mini plastic tape recorder to Michael Jackson and Cyndi Lauper hits. She also was a fan of the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and by age 4, she taught herself to play the piano by ear. When she was a teenager, she penned her first song and played in front of public for the first time during an open mic at New York Bitter End with a band she formed. At 11, she started taking vocal lessons from Christina Aguilera's singing coach, Don Lawrence. She still takes lessons from Lawrence to this day, and to prep for her Sound of Music tribute, mentioned earlier, Gaga practiced with him every day for 6 months leading to the performance. As a kid, she learned classical piano and took a full day of acting classes every Saturday. She says, "I was classically trained as a pianist, and that innately teaches you how to write a pop song. Because when you learn Bach inversions, it has the same sort of modulations between the chords. It's all about tension and release." A few years later, she was granted early admission to New York University's Tisch School of the Arts. She was one of only 20 students in the world to receive the honor of early acceptance. While there, she studied music and worked on her songwriting skills. She later withdrew from school to find creative inspiration. To make ends meet, she took 3 jobs, including a stint as a go-go dancer, while she honed her performance art act. Though always grateful for her education, Gaga wasn't afraid to take risks, and after surviving high school, enrolling in the NYU Tisch School of Arts, dropping out to become a rock star was one. "I left my entire family, got the cheapest apartment I could find, and ate shit until somebody would listen." In the Lower East Side club scenes, she found herself among singers who wrote the same style of songs. Wanting to try something different and unique, she decided to do something provocative in the music scene by being an exhibitionist theatrical performer. Everybody did the same, super boring. I wanted to do something that was original and fresh. It was after the band disbanded that big ideas were conceived. She worked with music producer Rob Fusari, who was searching for a female singer to sing in a new band. Together they worked on songs and sent them to music agency bosses, including Antonio L.A. Reid. When she was 19, Gaga signed a deal with Def Jam Records, but was dropped only 3 months later. It just wasn't for them, she said. Staying and singing on the Lower East Side was to her father's chagrin. She dabbled in cocaine and danced in dive bar burlesque shows. "I was on stage in a thong with a fringe hanging over my ass, thinking that had covered it, lighting hairsprays on fire, go-go dancing to Black Sabbath, and singing songs about oral sex. Gaga met Lady Starlight, who helped mold her own stage persona. As a duo act of ultimate pop burlesque rock show, these two gained attention for their lo-fi tribute to 1970s variety acts. They were invited to sing in 2007 Lollapalooza Music Festival. They were critically applauded. They got good reviews, of course. She continued building her fan base by performing at local shows. In 2007, she was only 20 years old. A year later, in 2008, Rob Fusari, Gaga's then boyfriend, brought her to Interscope Records as a songwriter. Fusari sent the songs they have worked on to producer Vincent Herbert, who eventually signed her to Streamline Records. There she composed hits for New Kids on the Block, whom she also toured with early on, Fergie, the Pussycat Dolls, and she would later sing on stage with Britney Spears. Jimmy Iovine, Interscope's producer, offered her a label deal and partnered her with singer-songwriter Akon. He recognized her vocal talent and caught his ear while singing in a reference vocal for a song she had written. He signed her to his own label, and her moment had come. When we were working, Akon would say, "Get in the booth and cut these vocals," and he'd always tell me I could really sing. So he decided he wanted to be a part of my music, she said. He spoke to Jimmy, and we decided to become a big family. Within the year, Gaga released her first album, The Fame, to critical and popular acclaim. The Billboard wrote, "It'd be easy to dismiss a 20-year-old debut artist sporting a blonde sheer wig, hooded Catwoman suit, and glowing stuff she calls the disco stick, but not if she delivers an album full of hits." The full length of The Fame proves she's more than one hit and a bag of stage tricks. Out of the 12 new tracks from The Fame, Gaga picked the song Just Dance as the lead single of the record. The pop dance track was a hit in clubs in US and around the world. For the second single, she chose Poker Face. The Fame went on selling over 12 million copies worldwide. Nominated for a total of 6 Grammys, including Album of the Year, won the Grammy Award for Best Electronic Dance Album and the Best Dance Recording for the single Poker Face. In 2009 and 2010, she took 2 more awards, MTV Music Award and Brit Awards. She became a legend and became returning the favor to her fans immediately. Started a world tour to support the album while recording an upgraded version of it. She released the single Bad Romance, topped the charts in a lot of countries such as UK, Australia, United States. Her eccentric performance and ideas began to influence the world of music, especially after the Beyoncé featuring music video for Telephone, in which she wore glasses made of burning cigarettes. After catching the eye of the public, some of those eyes are the ones that you didn't really want to catch. Her video started to become more and more controversial, beginning with Alejandro. The Catholic League attacked her for her alleged use of blasphemy, but Gaga managed to dodge all criticism and earned billions of views on YouTube. She made an impression worldwide when she performed a duet with Elton John in a medley of Speechless and Your Song at the opening of the Grammy. Known for her stage persona, she was booked in almost every big event that year. She was even asked to open the tour for Michael Jackson's This Is It concert before his untimely demise. Her sophomore album received high expectation because the first one made her an instant major player in the industry. As soon as she released the single Born This Way, she was met with both praises and criticism, many thinking she was copying Madonna in her Vogue days. The album was released in 2011 and the lead single continued to make successful entries on the charts. Gaga was featured in the soundtrack of an animated movie, Romeo and Juliet. She continued releasing dance anthems such as Judas and The Edge of Glory. The music video for Judas in particular touched sensitive issues of Catholicism when she portrayed Mary Magdalene and hired actors to play Jesus and Judas. While releasing more singles from the album, she did a collab with Tony Bennett on the jazz version of The Lady is a Tramp. She struck a friendship with a senior singer after he did a charcoal sketch of her naked self. Where she performed at the 2011 MTV Music Video Awards as her male alter ego Joe Calderone. She attempted to kiss Britney Spears on stage in a staged stunt, but Britney stopped her and said that she was done with a same-sex kiss, referring to her famous on-stage kiss with Madonna in 2003. Doing this, Gaga once again invited the chatters. Due to the success of the album, it spawned a re-release, The Fame Monster, but a glitch popped up when her former boyfriend producer Rob Fusari wanted his share of earnings from The Fame. The case was resolved when New York Supreme Court dismissed the lawsuit and Gaga sued him back just 5 months later. In 2011, she parted ways with her longtime choreographer, Lorian Gibson, and replaced her with Richard Jackson. While working for her next album, Gaga continued traveling the world for live concerts and appeared in movies like The Machete Kills, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. In 2013, she had to take a break from performing after suffering a hip surgery. During this year, her feud with frenemy Paris Hilton escalated. All that playing on stage isn't good for your hips and bones and body. A hip surgery is something really old people do, not 27-year-old girls. 2 years in the making, her third all-new album, Art Pop, was finally released on 6th of November 2013. It boasted a hit single, Applause, which peaked number 4 on Hot 100. News broke out that she parted ways with her longtime manager, Troy Carter, due to creative differences. After the critical and relative commercial flop of Art Pop, it was clear that the act that made her famous wouldn't do it for any longer. She released a jazz album with crooner Tony Bennett, went to win a Grammy. Many were surprised by Gaga's pivot from the live antics to stripped down solos. She's always been a musician first and foremost. She won a jazz competition when she was 14 or 15. That was her roots. She was trained in jazz. It's a great foundation for singing. Words said by her father. The jazz album released in 2014 with Tony Bennett was an answer to fans' criticism. The record received rave reviews from critics and made its debut at number 1 on the album chart. She spent the following year promoting the album with live performances with Bennett. She also kept herself busy by starring on the 5th season of American Horror Story. Her performance as the owner of the Haunted Hotel on the show received mixed reviews, but she walked away with the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, Miniseries or Television Film. In early 2016, Gaga began teasing her 5th solo album by saying during an interview that it was going to come out later in the year. Joanne was released, earned the singer her 4th number 1 album on the chart, and made her become the first woman to have 4 number 1 albums in the 2010s. 2017 was another big year for her. She headlined the Super Bowl halftime at Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. Her headlining set was dubbed the second best in the history of Super Bowl and earned her an Emmy nomination in the Outstanding Special Class Program category. She embarked on her Joanne World Tour in August. However, due to her chronic pain, again, she was forced to cancel the last 10 shows on her track. The tour was supposed to conclude in Berlin, Germany, but it wrapped in Birmingham, England. In the same year, she starred as a struggling singer, Allie, in Bradley Cooper's re-remake of A Star Is Born. The flick debuted at number 2 in box offices with $41 million. The soundtrack single, Shallow, tapped music charts in Ireland, Switzerland, and peaked number 5 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. The movie was a huge success, and he even earned the singer a Best Actress nomination in the 2019 Golden Globe Awards. Following the loss, she decided to skip the Golden Globes after parties to head home and eat cereal in bed, insisting she was happy as a clam doing so. She felt rightfully so, since she took home the Best Original Song prize at the star-studded awards ceremony for her A Star Is Born tune, Shallow. That was not the only nod she took for her work in the movie. She was nominated for Best Actress and Best Original Song at the 2019 Oscars and won Best Original Song. On February the 27th in 2020, before the craziness started, she excited fans by releasing a new single titled Stupid Love, which saw her returning to her quirky musical roots. The single came with an equally quirky music video, marked her first solo single in 3 years. In closing, Lady Gaga has been many things in her career. Fashion icon, sex icon, provocative pop chanteuse, but she's been most importantly a singer and a resilient star. Her awards, her stunning Sound of Music tribute, earned her hard-won praise for being a fantastic and real musician. Still, she doesn't need anybody's approval. She knows and she knew from the start who she is, and singing is something that she loves and does for herself and the world. That's it. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, comment if you may, and until next time, beware of the falling apples.